Welcome back to Guitar Search Saturdays. My name's Shane. This is the first episode of the third season of this particular series, and I've already filmed a few more in advance, so stick around if you enjoy Guitar Search Saturdays. There'll be more to come this year. Today we're heading into a shop called Evolution Music located in Lynbrook, outside of Melbourne, Australia. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Luke as well as the other staff from Evolution Music for allowing me to come through and shoot with my proper cameras in their store. Using my proper cameras on these particular walkthroughs will make a huge difference to the visuals, so I absolutely appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. Another really cool thing about Evolution Music is the fact they also stock secondhand goods as well as new stuff. So you never know what you're going to find, and these are the kind of stores that I really love. Let's go in and take a look. Not only do they have guitars, they also have drums on the first floor. We'll take a look at that a little later on. How cool is this? This is actually a Marshall fridge. It kind of caught me by surprise. When I first saw it, I was like, this is a weird looking amp. No, it's an actual fridge. Here's an amp I've had so many questions about my thoughts and feelings on. You know what? I haven't actually tried one. That will change though in the next few weeks. If you're wondering what I think of the Marshall Code amps, check back soon. If the day comes where I end up buying myself another bass amplifier, odds are I'll get an Ashdown. I think for price versus performance, you're getting one of the best options out there. I've always liked the sound of Ashdowns, both live and in the studio. This is the Ibanez 15-watt tube amp. It's the TSA-15. Basically, if they had added a reverb circuit to this, it would have been the Blues Junior Killer. The clean channel is nice, but I always feel like some of these smaller combos can just shine with having just that little bit of extra reverb, or at least having it as an option. If Ibanez ever re-release them, add a reverb tank and they'll sell like crazy. For those who don't know anything about these amps, they've actually got a built-in tube screamer directly in the head. That's how you get your dirt tones. It's pretty cool. And that's right about when I saw this Ashdown bass rig from hell. I love it. I don't even play bass much, but I want this. Yeah. That's killer. Up next, we have an amplifier that I've never actually seen or heard of up until walking through this shop, and that's what I love about stores that carry not only new stuff, but also some secondhand goodies. This is a Cornford Hellcat amplifier, which is made in England. I definitely love to go back and check out this amp and give it a good play. It also has a 4x12 cab, or a quad box, as we like to call it in Australia, and it looks like it's a 30-watt amp as well, so it should have plenty of power. Hey, check it out, we have a pre-loved Vox AC15C1. I always like the sound of the Vox AC15s. I think they're just a pretty gnarly little amplifier. Not quite loud enough for every gig out there, but if you need more volume, get the AC30. Let's just hope you can actually lift it. Oh yeah, here we go. Cue the Peavey anthem. Peavey! This is one of the current generation Peavey Bandits. It's either one of the new ones or the prior series. They both look very visually similar. This particular amp is ball-tearingly loud, there's no doubt about it. A friend of mine has two of these, believe it or not, and they just absolutely peel the paint off the walls at a gig or a jam night. They're really, really loud. While I don't think these amps sound quite as sweet as the red or silver stripe Peavey Bandits, they feel louder to listen to, there's no doubt about it. I think partly because it actually has a boost control on the front that you can also select via the foot switch. This essentially makes a loud amp even louder. Check out this new Tele-inspired Ibanez electric guitar. Yep, that's right, it's an Ibanez decked out like a Tele. It kind of almost has that butterscotch yellow kind of vibe too. It's a little more yellow, as you'll see, in comparison to an actual Telecaster, but I really dig their direction in going for something that just won't appeal to shredders. While I don't actually own any Ibanez guitars, you've heard me mention on a number of Guitar Search Saturdays over the last couple of seasons that I think they're making some spectacular looking guitars. This flame maple top is absolutely beautiful. If you're a huge fan of Ibanez guitars, you're going to dig this selection of electrics. Let's check them out. This ticks all the boxes in terms of what I love about a Telecaster. Only it's not a Fender, nor is it a Squier or a G&L, it's actually an ESP. I had no idea ESP made guitars that would appeal to me, being a huge blues snob. This guitar looks absolutely great, and if they made a Lefty in something like this, I'd love to give it a go. If you've tried one of these before, please post in the comments, let me know your thoughts. There's a whole lot of great electric guitars just in this corner, so I'll shut up for a moment and let you take a look. Alright, I didn't stay quiet for that long, but that said, how can you when you see a guitar this beautiful? This is definitely one of the finest looking electric guitars I've ever seen in my life. The top is spectacular. I really dig the gold hardware as well, it just seems to work, but check out that binding, it's beautiful. This is the Gem 77 Ibanez electric guitar. Check out the level of detail not only on the fretboard, but also on the pickups. It actually sounds like I'm an Ibanez fanboy, but I'm not. I don't own an Ibanez electric guitar. I do have one of their basses, but that said, these look absolutely stunning. Hiding out in the corner is a used Gibson Explorer Electric. Check out this bad boy. This black instrument of death is actually an AX50 from ESP. When I was actually going through the shop, I didn't actually take notice of the Gibson that was behind it. It's actually a beautiful lemon burst, and it's also loaded with a Bigsby. It's a great looking Les Paul. There's also lots of other electric guitars, including this PRS SE. For those who are new to the channel, you might not know I'm a huge fan of these guitars now. I actually purchased one a little while back, and it's one of the best guitars I've ever owned, hands down. This has to be the brightest guitar I've ever seen, and it's actually made by Cort. Evolution Music seem to have a lot of Cort electrics, acoustics, and bass guitars on the premises. This has to be one of the nicest electrics I've ever seen. Check out this Ibanez. I was absolutely blown away by the level of detail on this guitar. It has the aged and relic look, but without going too overboard. Check it out up close. Hanging above the Ibanez is an Australian-made Maton Mastersound electric guitar. I actually owned one of them in a red color. Judging from the look of this, I would assume this is more of a deluxe version of the one that I actually had. I also must have been living under a rock. I had no idea PRS actually made bass guitars. I've never actually looked them up or anything, so I had no idea this even existed. But that said, it's heavily inspired by a jazz bass, just based mostly on how it looks as well as the pickup combination. It's great to see a company like Cort continually innovating and doing something a little bit different. They've just loaded their bass guitars with Markbass preamps. The great thing about Markbass is it's a highly sought after sound, and their bass amplifiers are actually reasonably light as well, which is great. I really dig the idea of having a Markbass preamp in a Cort bass guitar. I think it's a really good match. For what you're getting, the price still remains reasonable as well, so Cort guitars get the thumbs up. There's quite a number of bass guitars in this shop, so let's check them out. Evolution Music also stock a wide range of acoustic guitars, including Takamine, Cort, Tanglewood, and also a few others. Please remain calm. We have our first official Lefty sighting. I hope you enjoyed that new Lefty alarm. It took me a little while to find that one. Hopefully it fits the bill. I could be wrong, but I think this was the only left-handed guitar in the entire shop. This is nothing to email home about, but it's a Tanglewood Acoustic. They make decent instruments given their price. It was right about now, checking out these acoustics, that I thought to myself, I wonder what kind of electric guitar pedals they have in the shop. A good friend of mine used to have a Marshall Bluesbreaker 2 pedal. He actually lent it to me. I think I did a demo of it maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. It's a really great sounding pedal. I'd love to give it another go now, just to see how it stacks up now after playing so many other types of overdrives. Even after doing about 1,000 different pedal demos over the years, this Ibanez Tube Screamer is still one of my favorites of all time. It's either this or the Maxon OD808. Believe it or not, the Tube Screamer was a rebranded Maxon pedal. Staring back at us in the center is the Kink pedal Charlie Fuzz Mini. This particular pedal I demoed quite some time ago, and some of the comments on that actual video were hilarious. I didn't know he made other pedals. Check out the one on the left called the Bundy Boost. By the looks of it, it's some sort of volume boost or preamp boost pedal with one simple control. That's awesome. For those who don't know who Ted Bundy is, you can definitely find a documentary about him on YouTube, but that said, you've been warned, it's pretty gross. While this type of artwork might not be for everybody, I'm actually a bit of a horror movie fan, and while I don't play metal, I can appreciate some crazy artwork. It's always good to see something a little bit different and something that stands out in the sea of effects pedals. Oh man, these are crazy. I dig it. In the center we have the Rat distortion pedal. This is an absolute classic. I had a chance to demo one of these maybe 8 years ago, something like that at least now. And you know what? I didn't like it back then, probably because I didn't know how to dial it in properly. I'd love to reshoot that demo now in 4K. With all of my extra knowledge, I think I could probably get a much better sound, as well as playing less of the traditional blues stuff with it. The pedal on its right is the Electro-Harmonix Cockfight pedal. If you haven't seen my video of the top 10 worst pedal names of all time, I'll post a link up in the cards and you can check it out. While Evolution Music doesn't seem to have the largest selection of pedals that I've ever seen in a store, it's great to see them supporting some Australian builders as well as just stocking some unusual stuff. The drums and accessories are located on the top floor. This actual floor is under development right now as it's still getting built. I couldn't help but comment and mention how much I love this wall on the walk up. For a shop that's just turning 4, they definitely have a really great range of stuff, and it's great to see them expanding up into the floor above them. I think they used to be actually located on this floor, but then moved downstairs just, I guess, for convenience. And that wraps up another Guitar Search Saturdays. A huge thanks to the guys at Evolution Music for letting me film there. I really appreciate it, and for giving me the tour through the shop. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that as well. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and click the bell. You'll get future updates from my channel. The funny thing is, I must have driven past this shop a million times and I didn't even realize it was here. Now that I know where it is, I can definitely say that I'll be popping my head back in from time to time to definitely check out mostly their used and consignment goods. I really like finding a really great deal of something that's secondhand. That's no surprise to the subscribers of the channel. That's kind of where I thrive. I really dig looking around at shops that just might have something that you don't expect. A huge thanks to all of my Patreon subscribers. If you do want to get on board, you get first dibs on any of the X-Demo stuff that I no longer need. These special users here are in the band that allows them to get their names in the credits, so if you want to be a part of supporting Guitar Search Saturday, head over to my Patreon account if you so choose. Another way you can help is to just share the video on your social network or tag friends that might be interested in the series. The more eyes we have watching the series, the better. Thanks again, folks. I really appreciate it. Thanks again to Evolution Music, and we'll catch you all next time.